The most frustrating thing about this is that no matter what you do, how much work you put on yourself, burning all the candles, writing all the journals, doing all the affirmations, he will come back into your life at some point. You will be dealing with setbacks. I remember having this situation where I just let go of this person. I'm just like done and dusted, don't want to do anything with him. And then he reappeared into my life. And I kind of played with this for a little bit. And as I was doing it, I knew that it was not good. In fact, I hid that from my girlfriend. I didn't tell my friend that, look, I've started talking to him. I met him again and I am waiting like a fool on a Friday night, waiting him to call me and take me out, because this is something that he mentioned that he will do. And then on Saturday he comes back with, oh, I've been thinking about you. These men, they always come back into your life because they want to see, okay, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. What's that saying? He loved the attention you gave him. He loved the admiration. He loved how special he could feel when he was around you, because you're so into him and you think he's just so special. And that's coming from someone who spent most of her 20s and probably even early 30s chasing emotional unavailable men, which I talk about in my second book. I'll talk through the video about some techniques that will help you to emotionally detach from this person. However, I think once you decide to do that, number one thing is to actually determine very clearly what is the reason that you want to do that. Do you want to emotionally detach from him because next time he contacts you, you are this ice queen who's not bothered, you're going to maybe hurt him back, you're going to make him suffer, you want revenge, and now you are in your main character era? Or do you want to detach from this person because you realize, you know what, his actions have proven to me over and over again that he's not good for me, that the future that I want to create with a romantic partner, he cannot be that person because of his behavior, his emotional availability. So I want to detach from him so I can make space for the person that I truly want to attract in my life, and not this person who I keep playing some sort of games and it's driving me absolutely crazy. So what is your why? Why would you like to detach from him? And I'd love for you to share that with me in the comments, so you can feel that you are not alone. And I also feel that when you're just typing it or writing it down somewhere, you are really affirming it. I'd love to be your accountability sister. Also, this is a great time to subscribe to my channel. Apparently, less than 10% of you are subscribed. So the next step when detaching from someone that you love is acceptance and acknowledgement. Very often when you are in this in and out situation where the relationship that you have, or whatever entanglement that you have, situationship, is not even defined, you realize, oh, you know what? I'm not sure I've ever been his girlfriend. I'm not sure he's ever introduced me to someone as, this is my girlfriend, this is my partner, or whatever the label that you wanted him to give you. And instead of trying to play cool and detaching from the whole situation and thinking, I don't care, I'm just going to be moving on, which I did speak about the dangers of that in my previous video, which you can watch later. Sit down with your feelings and actually feel whatever you are feeling. Whether it's crying in the shower, crying on a yoga mat, crying watching Sex and the City for I don't know how many times, eating ice cream, whatever it takes. Accept whatever you're feeling, and also try to look at this person that you think is so great from a little distance and think, okay, what are the things that we actually have in common? What are the values that we have in common? Would I like to switch my life with him? Do I really respect him for who he is, or do I want him so badly in my life because how he makes me feel physically, because of this physical bond that we have, of this passion, of amazing moments in the bedroom? What is exactly the reason that you think that he's just so amazing? No one is as great as he is. What are those reasons? The next step, when you want to emotionally detach from the person that you know is toxic, not good for you, is letting go of those attachments. Sometimes, in order to let go of those attachments, you need to create certain barriers. When you are with someone that you are so emotionally attached, like this video, if you have experienced that, where it feels like you are addicted to this person. I remember working with this guy. I was coaching him after I wrote my first book, and he was addicted to porn. And he was telling me how at certain point he went so overboard that he started skipping work. Unfortunately, he reached the point where he was not able to control himself. So he had to set actual barriers to stop that behavior. So firstly, he contacted his Wi-Fi provider and asked them to block certain websites. That didn't help. Then he had to completely disconnect from his Wi-Fi at home. So what are some of the practical things that you can do to let go of those attachments? Maybe you can delete old photos, texts, all the texts that you keep going to and rereading those, analyzing them. There is no new information there. Also, physically remove yourself from that person's life. I think I moved to 2 different cities because I was removing myself from the situation where I knew that this man is still going to be around. And I was just thinking, it's the best probably have a fresh start. So I removed myself from where I knew I could bump into him, where I knew that he's going to be around. I was reading this book, Dopamine Nation, and this doctor, she was sharing how she's treating her patients that are addicted. And one of the techniques that they're using is to replace an addiction with something else. So maybe whatever energy you are investing into this person, this attachment that you have, yes, it feels like an addiction. It's so difficult to let go of it. What is it something that you can introduce into your life that you could channel that energy towards, that maybe could replace your obsession with this person? You could replace it with something else. I know you don't want to hear this, but maybe you could exercise. Maybe you could invest your time into a creative project, a hobby, something that would make you feel alive. Because one of the things that you felt when you were with him in those very out of the blue moments when he chose to spend time with you, what you felt was excitement, you felt alive, you felt invigorated. So maybe there is something else that you could introduce into your life that could give you that feeling. Because one of the things that you really don't want to do is turn into this ice queen that says, I don't care about this, because that introduces its own challenges, which I talk about in this video here. Like this, if you found this useful, please share with your girlfriend, subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching.